Are you tired of annoying pop-up ads on your browser, on your phone's browser, computer's browser, laptops, TV, or maybe even a smart fridge? Well, I was too. So I installed Pi-hole as the bare metal software on my Raspberry Pi, made my Raspberry Pi the DNS server of the entire home, and now any device connected to my network can get a cleaner, faster experience. If you want to have an ad assassin at home, meaning your Raspberry Pi, in this video I'm going to show you how. So follow along, I'm going to tell you step by step. Welcome to your channel called Voyage with me, Iman. Here to take you step by step how to set up this DNS server. So we have the Pi-hole.net website right in front of us. As always, I'm going to show you the demo and how it's going to be, how is it like, and how we can test it is actually working. And then after that, I'm going to go through the uninstallation of the Pi-hole, and then I'm going to install it again with you step by step and tell you the things that I've learned along the way. Some of the features were actually not were set by default, and then I didn't know about it, and I thought it's a bug. I searched a lot. Anyway, I'm going to tell you all about it. So so just so you know, this is the main website. You can install it on the Docker. We have done that on different videos when we have set up our own web server and basically home server. So feel free to watch that out if you want. And here I'm going to install it as a bare metal, meaning that it's software itself. I'm not going to put it in a container. I'm going to install it on the hardware itself, on the OS. Anyway, moving forward, so I'm going to screen mirror my iPhone here so you can see my screen as I'm going through it. So here's the incognito mode browser of the Chrome browser. First, I'm going to turn off my VPN because my VPN also do a little bit of ad blocking, and I don't want to deal with that right now. And I'm going to restart this, like reload it. Essential cookies only. So if I scroll a little bit down, I'll see this empty area. So this empty area over here is basically it's the ad block, which is supposed to be ad here, but it's getting blocked by the Pi-hole. And if I scroll down, I don't see any ads at all. All I see is just the place for the ads. So we kind of see that it's kind of working. I have two other tests to do. One is the adblock-tester.com. And if I test that, I get like a 68 point out of 100 here. So most of the tests are being passed. Flash banner, some of them it cannot be passed manually. You have to mention. So do we see an ad here, or is it empty block? I'm going to say empty block. So it passed that, and it actually increases your point because it couldn't understand it itself. Yeah, so 70.72 out of 100 is not that bad. And what I can do is well, if I turn off my Wi-Fi right now, this would be disconnected. The screen share would be disconnected. But I will take in a screenshot of how it would be on my cellular without VPN, and I'll put it right here. If I proceed to the next test, which is the DNS link, and I reload this page, I'll see that. So it tells me that where I get my internet from, and basically the DNS is the Cloudflare. And Cloudflare is the main DNS set up in Pi-hole right now. It wasn't loading. So the Pi-hole will search for other DNS from the Cloudflare. And that's why we're getting Cloudflare as the main DNS. That's part of our test. Now, in the next section, I'm going to uninstall it and then install it one more time, and we go through it one step at a time. Stay with me. All right, so I just wanted to show you a couple of things. So we have this docs.pi-hole.net. I'm gonna put this all these links into the description, so you don't need to like write it down right now. Um, um, the documentation was actually good, was decent. I followed through it easily, and they have different way of installing. And but right now, before we hit to uninstalling part, just want to show you that they're open source. You can look at their GitHub repository and read through it if you want, so you know what you're dealing with. And I also will link down the repo. Going through the Pi-hole on installation. So the Pi-hole command is actually something that's getting will be installed after you install the Pi-hole, and then you can basically get the dash dash help command or dash help command to see what things are here. For example, you can set the password, the web UI password, if you have forgot it. And yeah, there are other things. And what we need here is the uninstall here. So I'm just going to type sudo pi-hole uninstall. All right, so in order to completely remove it and also remove the dependency that has been installed at the beginning, we can also run sudo apt auto remove.
5 minutes later.
All right, so Pi-hole is completely removed from my Raspberry Pi. And now I'm going to install it one more time. There are three ways to do it. So one way is to download the bash script and then pipe it straight to the bash. So this could be dangerous if you don't know the source. I personally trust Pi-hole and their documentation, but there's no need for you to trust. You can actually go to their GitHub and go to the basic installation.sh and basically read through the installation and see what exactly is happening, if anything fishy is about to happen. So that's why they actually offered the alternative way. But I personally trust them, and you don't have to. And I'm going to use the first one. I'm just going to download the bash script and then pipe it to the bash. So I'm going to do this. Oh yeah, so this is what has happened. That's an interesting thing. Let me actually see if I can show it to you. Okay, so just because I have set the DNS server in my router to be the Raspberry Pi, and now there's no DNS server on the Raspberry Pi, we have a problem resolving the host. So basically, it cannot find install.pi-hole.net. So we are going to change that setting, and basically, we need to remove all the DNS setting from our router. So it could do what it's supposed to. Let me see. I have also set up the DHCP. Yeah, let's see if it worked if it works this time. Okay, it works. So yeah, that's the problem. So after you installed it, you have to make sure you change back these settings. You have to make sure you put the DNS server IP address, basically the Raspberry Pi here IP address, um, and put that IP in there so that your router knows where to ask which domains need to be resolved. Otherwise, it will just bypass it. It will ask Cloudflare, Google, or any other web DNS resolvers, and it would bypass it. And then those add domains basically would also get bypassed and the ad blocker wouldn't work fine. Anyway, we're at the installation right now. This installer will transform your device into a network-wide ad blocker. I'm going to say okay. Pi-hole is free but powered by your donation. So if you really liked it, feel free to donate to them. The Pi-hole is a server, so it needs a static IP address to function properly. If you have not already done this, so you must ensure that this device has a static IP. I have kind of reserved the IP that it received from the router, and now that specific local IP will not change, and it will always be the same. Um, so I'm kind of sure that this IP will not be dedicated to another device later on, even if the Raspberry Pi is turned off and turned on 2 days later or something. Anyway, um, continue. So I'm going to use wireless. It's better to connect your Raspberry Pi or any microcomputer thing you have directly via LAN, but due to a physical limitation right now, I rather have it connected using Wi-Fi. I have not seen any performance issue per se, but technically, if you want to consider performance issue, we'd be better connecting it through LAN. So that's depending on your setup here. So I'm going to choose wireless. And it says select the upstream DNS provider. So when we are asking the Pi-hole, the DNS server, what is the IP address behind this domain IP, that's the main IP, and the domains that we are working usually with, which DNS resolver do we want it to ask from? So I'm going to use Cloudflare here. Pi-hole relies on third-party list in order to block ads. You can also, yeah. So we are going to get the Stephen Black's unified hosts list. It's a bunch of hosts that it's going to be blocked by default, and then you can add to it or create your own later on. Would you like to enable query logging? Yes. Oh, here it is. So select the privacy mode for FTL. I think the first time I have set it on anonymous mode and then it wasn't showing me any log. It was working fine, but it wasn't showing me any log. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with this? But yeah, so if you want to see your logs, what kind of requests have came in, the type of request, the domains, the IPs behind them, and so on and so on, you can choose to show everything, or you can choose different options here. If you put anonymous, it's not going to show you anything. So it's up to you. Since I'm going to show you what's happening here, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples of the queries, I'm going to put it on show everything. It's supposed to ask us the password as well. Oh yeah, okay. So your admin web page login password is this, and I cannot even copy this. So I'm going to write it down somewhere. All right, we're done. So let's give it a try. So here's my IP address to my Raspberry Pi from the ACES router, my secondary router, basically. Um, and if I click accept the risk, and that's because the Pi-hole is creating its own SSL/TLS certificate. It signs it itself. That's why for the browser, it looks not legit. If you are able to put this behind a reverse proxy, which we have done before in previous videos, you can access it using HTTPS and basically ask your reverse proxy to fetch a valid SSL/TLS certificate. I'm going to hit accept here, going through this and then pasting the password, see if it works. Awesome. I'm going to update this. All right, so 0 total query. Nothing is coming in, right? 0, 0, anything, nothing is coming in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you my screen one more time. Okay, so now I have to set up my router so that it knows which DNS server to use. So going to the advanced section, this DNS setting, I'm going to choose it on manual, and then I'm going to type in the IP address. If I hit apply, I should be able to see the queries. Yep. So see, the total queries are coming in, right? And but that's not just the only place I need to put it in. So basically, there are two different places. Um, One of the most important places you need to put it, make sure you add the DNS server, is a DHCP server. So basically, DHCP server is in charge of giving different IPs and unique IPs to different devices. But when it does that, it also sets that DNS server to those endpoints. So if my iPhone is connected to the ACES router and it's getting a unique IP address from the ACES router, the ACES will the router will also set DNS IP address to my phone. Yeah, so that's why we need to make sure we are setting it also in DHCP server. So when I set this, you should be able to see number of queries going much faster. And I can also give it a try here, right? I can reload the CNN. Say 36 queries were blocked. Healthguide.cnn.com. Um, Whatever, cnn.com, cnn.io, one tag, and I should be able to see more. Optimizely, Outbrain, whatever that is. Yeah, so these are like widgets. Like, these are the widgets. These are the things that basically has been blocked. The ads that have has been blocked. Yeah, the double click .net. It's one of the most famous one. Amazon adsystem.com. Google syndication. Yeah, so all of these. And this is how it's done. Yeah, so that's how it's done. Basically, you can also, there are small things here and there you can um, think about it, work through it. I'm not going to cover that anymore. Um, there's a DHCP server. Basically, you can make the Pi-hole to become the DHCP server of your house and basically be in charge of the unique given out unique IPs to your devices. That's one thing to do. You can set a local DNS records. So if you're hosting anything, or if you want your guests, your home, yourself to access certain domains which is only locally accessed in your house and it's only local and not on the internet, you can set it here and you can put the IP address right here, which we have done that again in different videos. There is one other thing I wanted to show you, and that's um, actually two other things now that I saw that. So going to the main DNS setting, you can see that the Cloudflare is on. This is what we have chosen in the setting while installing. You can also choose different DNS or multiple of them. There will be no problem with that. It's up to you. I'm not sure if it changes the performance per se. They're Yeah, they're pretty much working the same way, so you don't really need to turn a couple of them. You can also watch different logs like right off the bat. So you can watch things here, the FTL, basically when you logged in, how you logged in, which IP and stuff like that. the web server logs, and so on and so on. So you can watch logs from here. You can also update the gravity, the list of blocked domains from this section, update gravity, and yeah, that's mainly it. So the more you use, the more total queries and query blocks will be added, and you will see this graph coming up, and so on and so on. I'm going to stop blabbering. That's mostly it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you use it, and let me know if you could work it out. If you have any more questions, you've been asking actually for more thorough Pi-hole tutorial, and that's why I'm providing it. Although this one is a little bit different than the other one, I've used that as a Docker container, and yeah, this is more native and bare metal kind of thing. Anyway, I'm not going to take much of your time, and hope you happy hacking and hunting ads with this. Yeah, hope to see you again. Take care. Have a good one.